Okay, Sunday, October 26th, 2025, at the Virginia Beach oceanfront. And what I want to talk about today, I'll just go over some just what's been happening the past week, and then talk about comparing Virginia Beach to Brussels. Two very unlikely places to ever be compared. Two very different places, and compare and contrast. It won't be all one is great and the other is bad, but you'll definitely see some bias. But okay, so I think we're entering now. I just want to talk about the week in review. We just finished our second week, and now we're going into our third week here. So last week I got a lot of organizing done for the renovation. I had a free design call with IKEA. I managed to get some contractors out, and I'm going to start that separate series on the remodeling as well. I've got all that set up some PowerPoints. I'll do it the same way I did the Avalon one. There'll be some technical discussion video, and then there'll be a walkthrough, because I don't really have the time to do the editing and make a production quality thing. I just want to more share with you the important stuff, so I'll just show you the view I have. It's really hard to appreciate this unless you're here. It's hard to capture this, but we'll walk down along the beach, I think. But so this past week, a lot of planning. I've got some interesting news too. This was another highlight. I've been out of the country so long, more than 10 years. I have to redo my whole driving test again here in America. I thought my Norwegian license, I could just go show it and they would issue me a Virginia driver's license, but apparently they only have a reciprocal agreement like this with Germany, France, and Korea. South Korea, of course, not North Korea. But I thought, now see, this is another problem with the Europe, right? They're supposedly a European Union. They all have the same standards for driver's licenses, but only a handful of the countries have a reciprocal agreement, with the state of Virginia. So if it had been less than 10 years, that rule where I could swap the license would have applied, because I would have still been in the system. But I didn't bother to, on the past visits, to get a local driver's license. I should have done that. If I would have known, then it would have been a very easy thing. But now I'm completely out of the system, and I got to completely start over. So I'm taking the written test tomorrow, and then they don't have any driving tests or road tests until next month or so. I think until the middle of December or something like that. We're getting close to November, so I think it's early December is the next slot. So I'll get a learning permit. I mean, I can still use my Norwegian license, I think technically up to a year, just like in Norway. If I get pulled over or something, I technically, can use that license, but I'm working on it, Yeah. So the Virginia written test is going to be 10 questions about signs. You have to get those all right, and then there's going to be 30 questions about rules of the road, or giving way, or drunk driving, or texting and all this, and you can get 24 out of 30, so I think that's 80%. You need to score an 80% on that test. So so that's just another little roadblock that's kind of gotten in my way a little bit. And then I got the kitchen designed. I got on a call with IKEA. They have a free consultation for 90 minutes to design the kitchen. I went in very well prepared, so we were all done in an hour, because I knew exactly what I want. But then I called the plumber and electrician to put in the utilities for the washing machine and all of this, because we wanted to have the washing machine run alongside the kitchen like they do in Europe. There's some dead space in the apartment there, and I thought that's a more sensible place. But apparently the drainage doesn't work over there. It's not big enough. So there's a closet, in the bedroom behind the bathroom, and that plugs into a drain pipe. so we have to put it over there. But we have to cut the floor open, and the code says that you have to have a separate drain line for the washing machine. It can't share with like the bathtub. Even though, you know, you could just do it like where you don't shower and run the washer at the same time. I mean, you could even run the shower and washer at the same time, but just hopefully the washer doesn't end its cycle and start discharging while you're showering. Then it would have backflow. So probably going to do it the right way, pay the money, and, you know, save it on the kitchen. You know, I'll probably have to just get lesser cabinets, and I can always update the cabinets later, you know, and invest the money into like having laundry, because these condos we have here actually don't have their own laundry. You have to go out for laundry, and that's why it was such a good deal when I got this place. But it was close to the ocean. I mean, it takes me only 10 minutes to walk here, you know, 12 if I'm feeling lazy. So yeah, that's the update as far as like the last week, you know, and yeah, Amazon has been a lifesaver. We've been able to go to the park. You know, I probably ought to make a video of the Marsh Creek Park nearby our house. That's almost as impressive as the ocean. It's I mean, you would think, you know, it was not possible, but that park is super clean. And that's where we lead into this video comparing Virginia Beach to Brussels. You know, so Brussels is advertised, you know, as this like European capital and all this like family values, socialism works. And, you know, when we got there, like I said, it was just absolutely filthy. You know, it was really, really filthy. In Virginia Beach, it's clean. I mean, things are dated. Things are, you know, a little bit old here. So there's some new buildings, new stuff pops up, but there's no master plan. Like in Brussels, it appears they have more of a master plan. But at the street level, it's like cigarette butts, broken glass, garbage in the street, you know, aggressive immigrants, you know, lots of Palestinians, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. And here in Virginia Beach, I mean, it seems like even the birds pick up after themselves. And in Brussels, like in a park that was meant for kids, you know, it was like full of dog poo and, you know, just even humans, you know, just, like I said, I even got like a short video of people just peeing in the streets. You can't do that here in Virginia Beach. You know, you would be classified as a pedo, indecent exposure. It's like a very serious crime here to do that. Plus, you got all these people walking around with like sidearms. I don't know, you know, I mean, you wouldn't want to piss them off. But, you know, in Brussels, like I said, I think the food is better in Brussels. I would say, you know, in Europe, like I said, that was one thing you cannot deny. European food quality is much better. I mean, here all the food is processed, and you have to really work hard to get proper food. So we found Whole Foods, Fresh Market. I mean, we mitigated it. It's not a deal breaker. But in Brussels, it's much easier to get clean and healthy food. They had all those Arab stores. And, you know, that's a good thing about having the Arab immigrants. They set up those shops, and you get a good deal on the food. And those are probably the kind of immigrants you want, the ones that are going to be industrious and open enterprises, not the kind that are just going to, you know, leech off the system. So, I mean, you can't just paint a broad brush on immigration. I wish we had that here. You know, I mean, we have farmers markets here, but they're terribly expensive. I mean, they sell food from the Amish, you know, which are up in Delaware, Pennsylvania, Ohio, but it's incredibly costly just to get like food at a European standard. So that's something we're really missing, and we're trying to adjust to, avoid the processed food. I mean, I'll tell you, the food prices have really gone up here. America, I mean, one thing what was working for it was having very cheap food, and then there'd be more disposable income. But now food is becoming like a factor in the budget. It used to be something you didn't even think about. You know, you could just load up at the grocery store and have food for weeks and weeks. And now it's like becoming like a, you know, $100, $200 a week thing. You know, even more. you know, if you're trying to eat healthy, just for a few of us, you know, 3 of us, you know, so it's like, yeah, we've really had to dial it back, as one would say, and be really careful. You know, we can't be so liberal about just throwing whatever in the cart. I mean, like, especially candy. Like, and I guess it helps. This is all good. Like, you know, the Hershey's bars that I, like, some of my favorite, they're right up there with now, like, the Belgian chocolates, you know, like what we were paying in Brussels. So that advantage is gone. So yeah, Virginia Beach wins on cleanliness and I would say safety. Personal safety here is like way up there, because in Brussels it's like all a myth. You know, they have gun control in Europe, right? But it's still quite dangerous because, like, the aggressive immigrants and stuff, they don't care. They'll get weapons, they'll get whatever they want. They seem to manage to get it. They've had shootings over there, and there seems to be a very open black market, and there's no way to protect yourself, you know, from those people. Or here, I mean, yeah, I think the people create the security here. My hair is getting all messed up. So yeah, and then I guess language, right, and bureaucracy. I mean, the only issue we're having with the bureaucracy here is the time. But once you get the appointment, it's pretty easy. But getting the appointments here takes time. Now in Brussels, we had to do a lot more stuff. You know, we had to go get stuff translated in French. We had to present birth certificates. We had to jump through a lot of hoops. We had to make repeat appointments. But so it took us about 3 months to get things done. So that's still, the jury is still out here in Virginia Beach. Like, my wife needs a social security card, and now apparently I need a driver's license. So that's yeah, that's out, but that should be easy. I mean, that should be all solved here in the next 6 weeks, and life can go on without all that stuff. I mean, my wife isn't ready to go to work right now. You know, we have the baby at home, and, you know, that would be, you know, and putting the kids in daycare. So yeah, let's talk about daycare. Like, daycare pretty much sucks everywhere, you know, except in Ukraine. Ukraine had the best daycare, and it was like the cheapest too. Like in Brussels, I guess they have some free daycare through socialized medicine and some premium daycare, but it's the same thing here in America. All the people working in daycare centers over there are people who can't get jobs anywhere else, you know. So well, it looks like there's some army jogging over there. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do daycare here in America because you don't know. I mean, my mom is working at one owned by some Puerto Rican people, and they just speak Spanish, and the kids just sit around all day and watch TV. And you know, I mean, my mom just wants to work to stay busy, so she keeps her mouth shut. You know, but yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's not a place we would want to send our kids. And apparently, they seatbelt the kids to the chairs and stuff to keep them from moving around too much. And apparently that's the daycare reality here in America, unless you got like $2,500 a month, which is like, you know, what people earn after taxes sometimes and after expenses with the car, you know, to get to that job. So then it becomes like a wash. And in Belgium, it was just like a state system, you know, so it was probably, I don't know. I had some neighbors in it, you see. I mean, it seemed like they were a little bit better than here, probably. You know, at least they're eating better food. But I don't know, I wouldn't trust either country for that. So that's like a wash, 0-0 there, and Ukraine would get like 10 points on daycare. You know, it seems like it's something they take pretty seriously in Ukraine. You know, so looks like a junior ROTC. You know, I have to probably jump off here somewhere. You know, so yeah, it's a lot of distraction today. So yeah, we discussed daycare, food, bureaucracy, you know, cleanliness in the parks, you know, safety and everything, you know, so yeah. Yeah, it looks like this is some junior ROTC. They look too young to be, you know, I guess you could be that young to be in the Army. I'm not sure. It looks like there's some regular Army guys and some junior ROTC guys. You know, give them a taste. You know, it's a career path. I advise the military for anybody who can join. You know, it does wonders for your life and for your self-esteem and for your mind. You know, you learn to normalize yourself into a group. You know, you learn you learn so many things. You know, you actually become more creative. I think it makes you more creative. You know, it makes you tougher, able to deal with adversity, more innovative. You know, fighting. You meet so many different kind of people with different ideas. You know, it's not like, this marching and stuff, oh yeah, they're conformists and everything, but it's what happens off hours. You know, all the different people you talk to and their different approaches on life, different stories, different social classes. I mean, you have like children of billionaires, who just want to serve their country, in there with like really poor people, and this is their only way out. They want to get the college plan. You have people who want to make it a career. You have all kind of people in there, I mean, when I was in the Navy, I was in the Navy with the son of an NFL coach, so he really wanted to serve his country, It's like, I mean, he didn't need the money. It has to be like that. And then you're in there with people who are just, trying to get the GI Bill so they can go to grad school. I was kind of in that boat. I wish I had stayed in longer, but I just wanted to get the, school done, and yeah, and then people's minds change. They're, it's just, there's so much, it's its own society. It's good, it's a really good deal, I should say. But that's the differences between Belgium and Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach wins on cleanliness and safety. Belgium wins on food. None of them win on daycare. I would just slightly favor Virginia Beach. And language, of course, they speak English here. And I don't know what they're speaking in Belgium. They don't know if they're Dutch or French, and they want everyone to learn like 2 languages in addition to being good at their job. It's like, no wonder why that country is sliding downhill. It's like nobody wants to go there except like Palestinians, where they can get a lot of free stuff. And they get all this recognition and all this sympathy. Luckily they don't do that there. So like Palestinians, definitely Virginia Beach wins. You don't have any of this here. You don't have any of this like, fundamentalism and crazy stuff going on here. This is like the hometown to SEAL Team 6 and, F-18 jets, U.S. Navy. This is like I think there's even the East Coast SEAL teams are also here at another base. So, you're definitely not going to have anything with Islamic fundamentalism here or something, that's another point for Virginia Beach. So I think Virginia Beach wins on cleanliness, safety, ideology, language, and Belgium wins on food. And public transportation. Yeah, let's talk about public transportation. So it's pretty much non-existent here, but that's a given. But yeah, Belgium had pretty good public transportation. I was okay with it. I didn't mind it. It wasn't filthy. I mean, just some parts of the station, like the Midi station was disgusting, but like that was like the external train, to go to England, and that's the first thing people see when they come to Europe. Is like a disgusting central station, but the actual metro inside Brussels wasn't that bad, especially when you go to the nice places like Excellus, by the U.S. Embassy. Those branches were nice. So, but yeah, at least they had it. You didn't have to depend on a car. So yeah, Belgium gets a point then for transportation. So where are we now? Yeah, so Belgium wins on like food and transport. Healthcare, healthcare is another one. I trust the healthcare in America much more than I do in Europe. I mean, we had a pretty nice doctor there, but the doctors here are more highly skilled. But I think routine stuff in Belgium can be taken care of, it wasn't so bad. I got some routine stuff taken care of there. It was okay. But your quality of doctors here is going to be much higher. You know, but you're of course gonna, and the health insurance, like I said, is actually cheaper here. So I would say, yeah, I would say it wins here, because I got a policy for the whole family for like under $600 a month, and I'm only going to be paying 25% taxes with the deductions. Like in Brussels, you have to buy this hell on. I don't know, it's like $92 a month or something, but you're paying 50% taxes. So yeah, Virginia Beach wins on health care, you know. And ambulances are free in Virginia Beach. I had to pay 72 euros for the ambulance one time we had to go to the hospital in Brussels. So yeah, healthcare is definitely another one that the beach wins on. But anyway, that's all I got. We'll see you. Bye-bye.